This is Wulful, sold on Amazon Direct, marketed towards skiers and snowboarders with good waterproofing, windproofing, breathability, and warmth. They don't tell you what any of the ratings are at all. The fabric feels cheap. It feels like it's insulated with tissue paper. But hey, they were under $100 and, well, it was under the Amazon recommended brand, so let's see how bad these are. They have a YKK zipper. It is very small. It looks chintzy. Okay, that held. They don't have a rear pocket with a flap, so we're going to do the cargo pocket on the side. And that actually is a functioning cargo pocket. Okay. That is actually reinforced enough that it didn't rip. Sandpaper actually put a hole through this one, so there is a noticeable hole, and as you can see, I'm ripping the fabric wider now. That is very thin. It shaved a ton of material off of it. These are very chintzy, but what would you expect from a pant from a brand you've never heard of? This pant was, I knew it was going to be crap the second I looked at it, but the seam just ripped really fast with the seam ripper. That was surprising. Like, that's cheap thread. There is a little bit of tape on the seam. Not much, but a little bit. Let's cut this sucker open and see what's going on in there. Single stitch seam down the side, but it is critically taped, which is nice. So you do have some tape in there, but oh, man, that thread in there is so cheap. This is some of the cheapest stitching I've seen out of anything so far. Just blows open with ease. There is elastic inside the waist belt, and there's a little bit of overlap for the insulation into the seam, but it's not an insulated waist. Now, when we look at the insulation, it is sewn and quilted. You have a thicker seam, but it rips with it. My guess is that stuff would bunch up. Pocket zippers. Let's take a look at these. So the seam is a little overlapped. One stitch to stop the pocket from blowing it. These have to be the cheapest, literally the cheapest pants that we've torn apart for this test. There's nothing special about that. That zipper will blow off with a hard pull, I bet. It's got snaps to expand the outer shell. And then you get the cheap liner sewn in. There's no neoprene, no stretch up there. You do have some elastic around the cuff. No loops or anything to clip to your laces. Overall, nothing special there, but that's about what you would expect. So by and large, most of you will probably never buy this brand Wulful, but it's on Amazon. It was cheap. This was the one that has pretty much failed across the board. And surprisingly, while the fabric was a little damp, it didn't seep through, it didn't penetrate, but that's not to say in the long term that it wouldn't. It was just for a 20-minute test that it actually didn't have any issues with it.